Some YouTubers out there say that the Hummer H2 is the most embarrassing vehicle out there.
It is.
Some people say that it's the most hated truck.
We say that.
But I want to dedicate this video to show you why the Hummer H2 deserves a lot more respect than people think.
We're so effed. Respect, huh? The same respect you gave one when you drown it underwater and they don't nearly killed you.
Okay, water's coming in. Water's coming in. I'm stuck. Oh, say hi to my mom and kids. Can I get out now?
You're good.
No. I want to show you the design of it. It's really military cool. I want to show you the interior, lots of room. And also, just wait until you drive it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'll be right back. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Where are you going?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-slot grill.
And your point is?
Who else has a 7-slot grill?
Okay, Jeep does.
Yes. Who took Hummer General Motors to court about that?
Jeep?
Jeep did. You know why?
Why?
Because they're ripping them off.
Well, I have nothing to do with that. Nothing about the grill. But, in fact, Jeep and AM General Humvee, the original military vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, they have something in common because the Jeep started in World War II as a military vehicle, went to civilian use, and now look at it. And Hummer started as a military vehicle in '84, and it's been in service till now. Just now.
Okay, you're talking about the Humvee, which
Yes.
eventually became the H1 for civilian use. Okay?
Yes.
The big bad, fully independent suspension, off-road kind of sort of troop transport vehicle.
Yes.
Was never built to be real slippery off-road. It's massive. It sucks to drive on the highway. It's impossible to park. And yeah, it's really, really heavy. Now, what else is really, really heavy and difficult to drive and very difficult to park? And not great off-road? Right here.
Well, let's get back to that in a little bit.
All
but
right.
the H1 was on sale from '92 to '06.
Yeah.
In '06, it had that big macho Duramax in it with a 5-speed Allison transmission. That was pretty awesome. That was like the pinnacle of the civilian H1. Then it was gone.
Yeah.
The H2 was born
Yeah.
in '03. This is what this vehicle is.
Oh, it came with a big diesel and that Allison transmission. No, it didn't. That's right.
No, and then it was discontinued in '09. And then Hummer also did the H3 based on the Chevy Colorado platform, basically. The styling appeals to me as a 7-year-old, because I think all of us have a little bit of our 7-year-old in us. And look at this hood. Look at how it opens.
Oh, you mean the two hoops that are supposed to be tied into the chassis, which aren't? Yeah. Actually, I gotta admit, it's really good access to the engine area.
Name another truck that does this with the hood, the front
I'm
hinge.
sure there's a couple Peterbilts and Max out there that do that.
Well, maybe semi-trucks, but other than like the Chevy Corvette and like the Jaguar F-Type that do a similar thing for sports cars, this is very unique. But the hood on the H2 opens forward.
It's a locker, but you rarely have to even use it.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, there we go.
if you look very carefully, there is enough room to sit 3 people, maybe even 4 people across, and rest their tushies up against the engine when it's really cold outside. That's about all I got.
And underneath, of course, this is a 6-liter Vortec, which is a workhorse of an engine. It's very durable. It's still being put in GM trucks right now in the heavy duty.
Didn't they have a 6.2 that replaced this?
Yes, eventually did.
And?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter what happened with that.
It doesn't matter
engine.
what happened with that one. Okay.
But look at all the axes. I can work on my lights. I can work on my radiator. I can work on my airbox. It's all right here.
This middle piece right here needs to pop out. These parts are real easy to bolt off and on, so.
They go in a certain way?
Yep. There's only one way to do it.
Let's see. Doesn't it? Oh, look at that.
I actually have something. See this right here?
What is that?
Just a little joy wrencher.
Why would you do that?
Go grab it. That's easy access.
I'm just about 6'2".
Oh, there he goes. He got it. There we go. It's impossible to reach anything in this. Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't matter because let me take you on the inside. H2 is so cool. It has loads of room inside.
So does a Tahoe.
Look at this.
I can see out of a Tahoe when I drive.
Look at this. I'm just over 6'2". So comfy. And here's the challenge for
Yeah.
you. Get in the back seat. Get in the back seat.
Does the back seat recline? Oh, wait, no, it doesn't.
Well, just try it. The front seat is pushed back all the way.
Can I show you something?
What?
Let's shut the door. Oh, I can see you now. I have to lower my head to see out of this massive vehicle.
Once again, styling. Styling is cool.
But see, that's the thing, form versus function. And the problem with this vehicle is that it's a lot more form over function. Oh, and by the way, my foot's stuck. No.
Well, now, there you go. And look at this. 5 people can ride in comfort. I mean,
How many handles we got?
Giant console, you almost don't have headroom. You have about 2 inches of headroom, Roman. That's a man shifter.
That's a man shifter, man.
That puppy was made by my children.
the width of this vehicle, it's over, 81 inches wide.
Yeah.
It even needs marker lights on top. Like a toy, like a Tonka toy. And look at this. Look at this. You could fold the seats. Boom. Boom. One motion.
Wow, you
two
can't do
motions,
that in any other SUV or crossover.
2 motions, and there's a jump seat in the back for that person that, if you don't like, you can put them in the third row.
So some people say this is a Tahoe underneath.
No.
Not really.
No. So there's a lot of confusion about this.
Yeah.
Right? GMT 800 series platform.
Right.
Underpinned all of the GM's pickup trucks.
Right.
As well as full-size SUVs, the Tahoe, the Suburban, the Yukons.
Right.
But this is kind of a customized vehicle. They even built a plant in Indiana just to build this truck. Heavy-duty frame in the front, light-duty frame in the rear, and this body is all unique.
410 rear end?
Yep.
410 front end?
Yep.
Lockers?
Full-time four-wheel drive system and rear locker.
So it's always four-wheel drive.
Yes.
That's really economical. What about the transmission in this one?
4 speeds.
4 speeds.
We don't need any 10 speeds in here. 4 gears.
Okay. And finally, what's the MPG?
Well, as a heavy vehicle, this was never rated by the government because it's a heavy-duty truck.
heavy-duty truck.
Over 8,500 pounds of GVW, but the computer says 11.9.
11.9 MPG. You know what one of the problems is that
What?
we're looking to make this into an overlanding vehicle,
Yep.
right? What is the one thing you need when you overland?
Need range. Yes. But that's okay. Look, so the H2 came with beefy tires. It had, according to Hummer, owner's manual, 12 inches of ground clearance.
Okay, that's not bad.
Running ground clearance. It has a 42-degree approach angle, a 37-degree departure angle. The wheelbase is not very long, so it has a pretty good breakover angle. So some of those good off-road things are there.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Now, if you look in here, there are a couple things that have been replaced by a lot of Hummer owners. Tie rods, because they're not very thick.
This is what I'm talking about. This tie rod end is actually thinner than my finger. We really need to upgrade this. It looks like a toothpick when you look at the vehicle, and they can snap when you go off-roading.
This upper section up here, they actually have kits to replace a lot of these components and make them stronger. And the reason why, there is a lot of weight with this vehicle. And I've seen it on video, I've actually seen it in person, where a tie rod is snapped, A-arm, upper A-arm has given way, a whole bunch of things that have happened up front, which can really screw up the vehicle and prevent you from getting back home when you're on the trail. I think that's one of the biggest issues I have with this vehicle, is that it looks mean and strong, but it's not quite mean and strong. Okay, comrade, сюда!
This was a $50,000 truck back in '03, which was kind of a lot of money. I'm going to maintain momentum. I have a lot of clearance, and I have a lot of approach and departure angle.
It was a little narrow, but you made it just fine, at least with the mirrors in. I was hoping for a little bit more wheel slippage, but that would actually bother me if the Hummer had a problem with this.
This front suspension design is not strong enough, and we're going to improve this for our project, for the overlanding project, because there are kits. Like you said, a lot of people have done this.
Yes.
So we can actually improve this truck and make it even cooler.
I can't wait to drive it then.
This is another thing I love about the H2. The interior, yes, there is some cheap plastics, but it's like kind of like a cartoon. Look at this shifter, it's gigantic, and these giant vents up here, and there are a lot of usable features. There is 4 high lock, 4 low. The buttons are very accessible. There's also 2 traction control modes, which for 2003 is actually very advanced to have several or 2 different traction control modes. There's a tow haul mode. And there's a height control button right here on the bottom, all easily accessible right there. Nathan, check this clearance out. I can almost basically, I actually can put my head in there.
Yeah, you really should. So question, you were going to bring me over here to talk about the suspension.
This has an optional air helper suspension in the back, which makes for a beautiful ride, as you will see shortly.
All right.
But what else it does is actually you can push a button inside, and the truck will raise itself in the rear 2 inches for additional clearance, which is just awesome.
It is, and you know what's awesome on top of that? The fact that it doesn't work when you open the doors.
Yeah.
What is that?
All the doors have to be closed, and it works only to about 30 miles an hour because it's for an off-road situation.
All right. Are you ready? Yep. 42 inches. We're now at 44 inches. Shut it down, please.
Now that is badass, dude.
Yeah, especially when you get lightheaded. So look, it's at 44 now.
Holy sh**. Look at those guys. You can put 2 heads in there now.
Depends on whose heads.
Oh.
Okay. It's a real shame the front end doesn't go up like that.
It is a shame.
Yeah. Do me a favor, open up the trunk, would you? Come here, guys.
We have a spare tire that's mounted on this hinge. Usually Hummer used to put the tire actually inside. But to open up this, see, it swings out very nicely.
Yeah, that's great for sidewalk access. In America, this doesn't block anything. That's great.
But you know what else opens this way? A tailgate on the Wrangler. Here's another thing. Do you know how much the H2 weighs?
6,500 pounds.
Yes, you're about correct. Ours is about 6,500 pounds. But the GVWR, the gross vehicle weight on this truck is 8,600 pounds.
Okay.
which means you have about 2,000 pounds of usable payload.
So in other words, when the TV crew, us, sits in this vehicle, we're at maximum payload.
No, that doesn't mean that. If you take like the current Suburban, the brand new one,
Yeah.
that has about, 1,500 pounds of payload. This has more. Another neat feature in the H2 are power folding outside mirrors. Haha! These days, power folding mirrors are not that, novel, but back in 2003, am I gonna hit anything? So what do you think? Huh?
I want you to read this to the camera.
What is this?
Those are just some celebrities, just a handful that I selected out of a ridiculous number. Just read them.
Paris Hilton,
Yep.
Demi Moore,
Yep.
Justin Timberlake,
Yep.
David Beckham,
Yes.
50 Cent,
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr,
Yeah.
Fergie,
Yep.
Hugh Hefner,
Yes.
Queen Latifah.
Yes.
Oh, this is my favorite. Arnold. So what is this list?
It's a list of people, just a small list of people who own H2s, and that is the problem.
It's not a problem. Arnold is my man. The Governator is one of the coolest guys out there.
Says the Russian.
Right?
Okay, so here's my biggest problem with this vehicle. In many ways, it's overkill. It's too big. It's hard to see out of. I really do have a hard time seeing out of it. And Roman would argue that, well, that's because of the design, and that's what you're probably going to say
Yeah,
too.
design. Look how much space we have here.
Let me tell you a story.
Yes.
First of all, I'm from LA, born and raised.
Yes.
This lady rear-ended another lady in a parking lot when I was picking up my kids from school.
Okay.
And the lady who rear-ended the other lady was driving one of these. And she got out, and the lady who she hit was driving a Subaru, similar to the one you own.
Okay.
And when the lady got out, she insisted that the reason why the one she hit was angry was because of Hummer envy. I kid you not. That is what she said.
Really?
And that's not the first time I've heard that. The problem is, the highest selling area, and I researched this,
Yeah.
for the Hummer, for the H2,
Yeah.
Southern California.
Really?
Yep.
But how many units did they sell overall?
Overall, about 150,000, just under that. It is a victim of its own success because it was chic for a while, and people who bought these and drove them around could care less about the fact that they couldn't see anybody they were running over in a parking lot. They just wanted to drive one.
So, first of all, I'll give you 3 points.
3 points.
Yes, I agree with you. The people who bought these and own them kind of made the image for the vehicle. Yes. I know that Jeep guys and Hummer guys do not get along, and also the front suspension on this truck is no good. But this truck is just bigger than life. I mean, the styling, whenever you show up in a parking lot or anywhere, it just looks like a toy, like just giant, bigger than life presence. And that's why I love it, because it just kind of placed the kid inside of me.
I hear what you're saying, but buy Jeep. Buy Wrangler, you'll feel fine.
So I think we agreed. This is a cool vehicle, right? No question whatsoever?
No, we don't agree. There is one thing, okay, and I think you guys will agree with me on this. If they put the diesel in this vehicle,
From
right,
my truck, my Duramax?
your Duramax with, you have an Allison transmission,
Yep,
right?
yep.
If they put that power plant in this vehicle, beefed up the front end, then I would overlook a lot of this type of crap and all these cheap plastics and everything everywhere. I would completely overlook it because the form and function, they would match. This thing would have torque up the wazoo, and it would have range.
I would love that, except the additional 800 pounds that the diesel would add.
Who cares?
I
This
think-
thing already weighs as much as a planet.
Well, there you have it, guys. We've agreed it's a cool vehicle.
Yet.
And go back to tfltruck.com for more news views.
And real world reviews without Hummers. I swear to please, without Hummers.